Ahead on American Sunrise, the Epstein Files Vote. It goes down today in Congress. How is the vote going to turn out? Well, Congressman Mark Alford here with his view from Capitol Hill. Plus, family infighting. How is the feud between President Trump and Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene impacting the MAGA movement? We'll have the latest developments on that. Also ahead, your health care. House GOP committee leaders are going to hold listening sessions to get a plan ready. So when could we see an actual proposal? Find out. We have those stories and much more as American Sunrise starts on a Tuesday right now. Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
we have breaking news to share with you.
Politics.
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
We've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrance.
And I'm Dr. Gina. All right, good morning. I am Dr. Gina. We are live with you from the Palm Beaches. Let's bring in David Brody. He's in Washington, D.C. And Terrance Bates in our Denver newsroom. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Dr. G and T.
Dr. Gina and David, good morning. So look, let's just get to it. David, you teased it just a little while ago. The House is set to vote on releasing all of the Epstein files today. President Trump even doubling down on that. He said last week, release it all. And then just yesterday, he went back on the cameras and said it again.
They can do whatever they want. We'll give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much because, honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them. And it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. And I don't want to take it away from really the greatness of what the Republican Party has accomplished over the last period of time.
And Dr. Gina, this is an interesting conundrum for the president as he wants to keep the focus squarely on the business that's being done. But there are obviously people who want this information to be released so they kind of know who may have been involved and how to move forward.
Yeah, well, it's midterm campaign time is what it is. And so the Democrats are wanting to find anything they can to distract from the good things that President Trump is doing, and President Trump is wanting us to maintain focus. It's so simple. But I'm glad to see that focus in him because he needs that focus right now and that determination. I can't imagine keeping his schedule, doing the things he does, and now having to worry about where you keep the focus for midterms. It's a lot, David, but he seems to handle it.
Yeah, look, I mean, the Democrats, this whole thing's been for sure a hoax, and it's been political on the Democrats' part. They don't give a rip about the Epstein stuff at all. They had a chance, and they didn't do anything in the first term, Trump's first term, Biden's term. Having said that, this is a pretty big reversal. I mean, let's be honest, guys. I mean, this was a whole thing where they didn't want the White House didn't even want to vote. And now all of a sudden we're going to get over 100, probably a couple hundred Republicans. We'll ask Congressman Mark Alford in a second. I think it's going to be pretty unanimous on the Republican side. They're all going to vote for it. And now the Senate, which didn't have any appetite to take it up, is going to take it up. And President Trump in that clip actually just said when a reporter asked him, the reporter asked, are you going to sign it? He said, sure, I would sign it. So it's gone from let's move on and not even do this to the point where President Trump's going to sign this bill into law. It's just a fascinating reversal.
Well, let's get to today's Bible verse because that's what actually matters more than any of this. It is John 7, verse 38. He who believes in me, as the scripture has said, out of his heart will flow rivers of living water. I love that. I love any verses about water because you guys know that's where I'd like to be 24/7. House Republicans set to nearly unanimously, as David Brody just said, vote to release all of the Epstein files. The New York Post reports that the documents could reveal details about Epstein's associates, his finances, other operations. Supporters say that making the files public will provide transparency and long-awaited answers. The clock is ticking as the vote is tentatively scheduled for as early as tonight. For more, let's bring in Congressman Mark Alford. Congressman, we've been talking about this for weeks with you. It sounds like this day is finally here. Can you confirm this report? How will you be voting? And will this finally once and for all put this behind us?
Well, good to see you guys. My verse for the day is John 8:32. You should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. I think we're going to be set free from this big, major distraction that's been hanging over the Trump administration, frankly, Congress now for what, 8 months? Yeah. I advocated for full transparency early this summer in July. The president came out in, I think, mid-July and told Pam Bondi to release this information. On September 3rd, we voted in the House on another bill to release this information to get it over to the Oversight Committee. That's what the Justice Department did. This has been going on way too long. The Democrats proved just last week that this is a political stunt for them. They are trying to create a distraction for the administration to slow the America First agenda. Tim Burchett, yet last week before we left to go back home, called for a unanimous consent, meaning just by a voice vote, to release these files, and the Democrats blocked that. That is proof that they just want this as a distraction. We're about to see the truth, and it will set us free.
Well, just to be clear, the reason they said no is they wanted a roll call vote, right? I mean, they wanted to actually see who's going to vote and who's not going to vote for it.
Yeah, but the only reason they wanted that, David, is so that they could have a gotcha moment for those who possibly might vote no. I don't think there's going to be many people voting no today. That's all political. If they really wanted the truth to come out, a voice vote, unanimous consent would have been good enough.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. Hey, let me move on to what's going on between the president and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, we got to discuss it, obviously. I don't know what you want to call it, a spat, a feud, whatever. Feels like a distraction at this point. How distracting is it to the MAGA movement? And have you grabbed any sort of antacid, Alka-Seltzer, Tums? Which one is of your choice here? I'm just curious.
Well, I probably, at my age, could use a little bit of that. I saw Marjorie and Speaker Johnson sitting in the House chamber yesterday, just having a one-on-one. I don't know what's going on, and to be quite frank with you, I really don't care. My singular, and I'm not trying to be flippant or ignore your question, my singular focus right now is getting the remaining 9 appropriation bills done. That is why the people sent me here to represent them. Marjorie has been quite vocal in the past, and now she's saying that she doesn't want to be as, I think she used the word toxic. I welcome that. We are, for the first time in the 3 years that I've been here, I think really gelling as a conference. We're having our first conference meeting here in about an hour. We haven't been together in 6 weeks. And so we've got to realize that we've got to put some of our differences aside and get on board with the America First agenda and get this done for the American people. Get our appropriation bills done, get back to regular order, start reducing our deficit, and let's get on with it, folks.
Congressman, since your singular focus is on passing those appropriations bills, I want to bring your attention to this political headline, which says the House GOP committee leaders are going to hold healthcare brainstorming sessions. The focus likely will be on Obamacare subsidies, which will very well be a huge part of the negotiations moving forward in order to pass those appropriations bills. This headline goes on to also say that you probably shouldn't rule out healthcare vote by the end of this year. Can you kind of give us some more insight onto what might be happening on that front and how critical the Obamacare subsidies are going to be in moving forward towards that January 30th deadline and getting all those appropriations bills passed?
It's clear we have to do something. I don't know if it's going to get done by the end of the year. The Democrats broke this. They need to buy it. They came up with Obamacare, which was doomed to fail from the very beginning. They knew that because they wanted universal health care. That being said, there are a lot of people who don't really realize that these subsidies were temporary. They were for COVID only. The Democrats put the expiration date. That wasn't on the Republicans. That being said, these listening sessions will happen. We have 27 legislative days now to the end of January where the continuing resolution expires once again. I do not want to have our backs up against the wall facing another potential shutdown. That would not be good for us. So we're going to be talking about this. The Energy and Commerce Committee and the Ways and Means Committee will be discussing this. It's got to go through regular order, whatever we do. We can fix what the Democrats broke, but it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight.
Congressman,
At the moment,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, Dr. Gina. I'm just curious really quickly. At the moment, and you said there's 27 legislative days, but do you think our backs are going to be, and when I say your backs will be up against the wall again leading up to January 30th and getting these appropriations bills passed and not being in another situation where you'll be talking about a continuing resolution?
There will be some pressure. We can put these together. And there's already talk about this now. I was in a meeting with our chairman, Tom Cole, and the Appropriations Committee, several appropriators last night. We're having another meeting later this week with the full Appropriations Committee, the Republicans anyway, on the strategy to form some sort of mini buses. Now, in the past, we have not liked mini buses, but if we can group defense, labor, and health, and some others together that make sense to get these passed, I think we can get the votes, get people on board. If there are any left over that we can't get passed, those individually may have to be done through a continuing resolution. But my personal hope is that we get these done.
All right, Congressman. Well, put me on the short bus because I really want to make sure that we don't spend all this money. I'm so tired of this spending, Congressman, and I really hope Republicans understand how tired the American public is of the spending.
Dr. Gina has some great news for you. We're making cuts in every sector of the government except for Department of Defense, Homeland Security, and Military Construction, Veterans Affairs. We are making significant cuts in all areas. So we're on the right track. We're not going to solve this deficit problem overnight, created largely in part because of the inflation that Joe Biden brought about, but we are making significant gains on reducing our deficit.
By the way, on a separate note, can I just say I'm distracted by the suspenders. I absolutely love that look. FYI, just so you know.
Actually,
it's my Larry King look.
I was noticing the very creative color combination, like the hunter motif, kind of Thanksgiving-y going on. Impressive. Have a feeling the wife had a lot to do with it, but nonetheless, Congressman Alford, thank you so much for being with us.
I'll just say you look nice, sir.
Well, thank you.
You look nice.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Have a good one. Go cut that. Go cut, slash and burn, Congressman. Slash and burn. All right. We take you next to the White House for the latest regarding the administration of the Epstein Files vote. Also later, violent protests broke out in Mexico City over the weekend. Who organized them? Who could be funding them? We're going to take you across the border soon. This American Sunrise continues.